Welcome, everybody, to Universal Truth of Mankind. I am Dave, your host, and this is Kabbalah 101. As always, I'm teaching you items what Kabbalists teach us. And it's up to you to do more research. This is just an introduction to certain to topics, and then you go look them up for more. I feel this is the best way to help people to introduce themselves to Kabbalah because there's a lot of confusion out there of what people teach. And I have to admit, I tend to stay further and further away from a lot of groups and stuff like that because they go way off, typically, from what I've learned and what I've been taught. Okay, so 613 commands and the soul we're going to talk about this time around. We already did one, we did 613, and we talked about desire. If you have not listened to that one, please do listen to that one because this is a companion video to that. So we have 613 commands to follow. And you're probably saying to yourself, it's impossible to keep them. So should I be looking at this alternative religious belief or not? Well, I'm going to explain to you why you don't need to look at that alternative belief. Number one, God did not create us to be perfect. Oh, yeah, I just said that. He did not create us to be perfect. Really think about that for a moment. I'm not perfect. My neighbor's not perfect. This clergyman's or that clergyman, they're not perfect. No one is perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. We are meant to go through generations and generations and generations of learning and progressing. Now, we may be looking at this world right now and saying, I think we're going backwards. Well, I'm thinking we're doing the opposite. It's just the empty barrels make more noise. Just remember that phrase. Okay, so the 613, we can't keep them perfectly. So I don't need this other religious belief. So what is the deal here? And that's the question we should be asking ourselves. In one of the previous videos, I started talking about where I talk about the five souls. I talk about the soul level called Kaya. Kaya is the universal soul. It's the soul where we're all connected. If you have not watched that video, the five souls, not the four types of souls, but the five souls, levels of souls, listen to that video. Now we'll give you a little more detail as well. See, all these things mixed together, so don't be afraid to watch previous videos. When we talk about the Kaya level, now, what is the deal about the Kaya level? The Kaya level is where we're all connected. See, we're not just individuals plopped here in this state or in this province or in this country, and that's it. And we're okay, go on your own. No, 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 no. We have to raise our awareness and realize at a universal soul, we are all connected. That's why it says, love your neighbor as yourself, for I am Hashem. What it's saying is, I'm in you. You love your neighbor, you love me, God. And love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and strength. If you love God with all your heart, soul, and strength, and you hate your neighbor, you really don't love God. So you need the two commandments together. That's why Hillel says, well, love your neighbor as yourself. Don't do unto others that you don't want done to yourself. And love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and strength. And the rest is commentary. He's not kidding. So when Israel in chapter 422 of Exodus was in Egypt, God said, let my son Israel go. Well, who's he talking about? He's talking about us collectively. Each person has a strength for the moment, for the day, for the week, for the second, whatever it might be. where he or she's keeping the commandments, right? Particular commandment, just one commandment. And then you have millions of others that also keep keeping other 613 commandments throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year. So at a collective level, a kaya level, all 613 commandments are kept. But at an individual level is where we fail. So the fact we're part of this collective is our salvation. And with love, we're connected to it. With love, we're connected to the other person who happens to be, well, maybe failing in 20 commandments, but is successful in one. And we're all become grouped together and collectively a force to keep these commands. That's what we're taught. So we got to stop thinking physical level. We have to think spiritual level. At a spiritual level, we're keeping the 613. At a physical levels, that's where we're failing. But that's okay because what? We're supposed to go to the desire, 613 desires. 613 is to reveal in us where we come short and where we have to improve upon. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. Shalom, shalom.